Good day, Zero Limits Club. It ended yesterday, the 9th month. Here's what I'm proposing right from the very beginning here. What if we extended it? As I'm looking at the material from Zero Limits, the book by Dr. Joe Vitale that we're studying, I need a little more time. That's what I'm really asking for. It seems to be more in depth than I thought. I underestimated it, and I believe a little more time would help out. So I'm proposing we go to the 10th day of the 10th month. 10-day extension for Zero Limits. I took the liberty of giving myself the extension, so I went ahead and did the work for it in anticipation that you would say yes to the extension. There you go. I really like Zero Limits. You've heard of the Dr. E. Haleakala Hulan. It's a Hawaiian name. You know what I'm finding out? I suspect those Hawaiians know something about vowels. After I'm done with this, I'm going to go over to the vowels and find out what is really going on over there. Because the Hawaiians, you know. So he healed the ward. You know how he healed the entire ward, entire floor as what they called a therapist. And he used this technique called Ho'oponopono, where you turn to the divine. So here's what I got out of it today. Zero Limits. I wrote it down and said, Coach, I've been addressed. Coach, keep working on yourself and then lend assistance to those who ask, but make working on you number one. Know how it goes, because you're a projector, a projection system, and that reality is a 360-degree point of view screen. Think about it for a second. You don't get this on the Netflix. This sounds like science fiction, fantasy. That reality is a 360-degree. This is what I have on it. This is what I have on it. A theory. Take it as a theory. Do whatever you want with it. But what I suspect is that reality is a 360 POV. I just found out what that was on the YouTube. The phone gives me a lot of these answers. 360-degree point of view screen, so you can't tell it's a screen. And that you're the projector made in the image and likeness of the creator, and then took on all the programs. Everything was made in the beginning, I suspect that. All the programs were made in the beginning, or the films, or the endings. All outcomes of all situations made in the beginning. Programmed into the chip, and then projected out onto the screen where we look at it. So some of the keys from the book. Taking responsibility for all of it. I see that it's a great reminder for myself daily. That's why I'm asking for the next 10 days. Because I see that I don't take responsibility for all of it quite yet. I see my improvement. I see me moving toward it. And I'm going further. I need to go further. I need 10 more days of hearing, take responsibility for all of it. And think about it. If I know that the whole thing is a 360-degree point of view screen, and that I'm projecting out on it and looking at it, why would I do that? You know the reason we're doing that. We've known this for quite some time, why we came here to do that. For one reason, to have free will to erase it, to have free will to rearrange it, to change it. And this technique is in my wheelhouse. Simple, easy, short. Take responsibility for all of it is the longest point. And it's the biggest point, and it's the first point. Responsibility for all of it. But I think if we know about the rules of the game, about the projector, about how it comes out, then we can take responsibility for all of it. Okay, free will is taking the memories, the programs, and you take them on for the sole purpose of letting them go by saying the phrases to the divine. You know the technique. It's great to be reminded on a daily basis. What is this technique you're talking about, Coach? Connect to the divine or infinity. I'm going to confer with my notes. You know, I always wanted glasses so that when I looked at something important, I could put on my glasses. So since I didn't need them, I got some fake ones. They have glass in them and everything. So let me look at my notes here. Wait. You ever see when people read? Here we go. There you go. Sometimes they wear them up. Sometimes they're high riders. If you ever seen high rider, he's a high rider. So I haven't really claimed you got the straight ear ones, so straight down. And then sometimes the reading ones are like that. I think I'm going to go with that for now. What do you think? Okay. We're talking about divinity or infinity, the source, the energy that creates worlds, God, all it is. See, that's why I got glasses, so that when you made a good point. Let's try it again. Infinity, divinity, you turn your attention to. Almighty, all that is, source energy. You turn to the bigger part. Think about it. Taking responsibility for all of it. Opening a line of communication with your maker. Turning to it and saying the phrases, I love you, and thank you, please forgive me, and I'm sorry. You know what I got out of it today? To stop analyzing the words. Maybe they're magic words like beans. All I know about these phrases is there was a gentleman by the name of Dr. Hulan who cured an entire mental world of people by looking at their files, understanding the screen, understanding the projection, understanding all that is, and was taught on a Hawaiian system of repentance or forgiveness or healing. Wow, I love you, thank you, please forgive me, I'm sorry. He said, that's all you should be doing ever. And I said, I have been looking for something to focus on, to think about, to be repetitive about. I'm in Wheelhouse City. In the book, Zero Limits, it said to open the way for the flow of divine, to open the way for divine wealth, requires first canceling the movies that are currently playing. As long as the movie that is playing on the 360-degree screen, their memories or programs, blocks the movies, the things we picked up on purpose so we could let them go, as long as they are present in the subconscious, it blocks the divine. I was thinking about that. Think about it. So all of this takes time. So when you come to time is really what we're doing here. So as long as these programs are playing, we're being clock blocked. Think about it. As long as you're looking at the screen, because it's coming from, you get the question from the student in the School of Mastery that I didn't think these thoughts. I don't remember thinking these thoughts. And what I'm getting out of this today is the reason we can't remember thinking the thoughts is they happen from a place called the subconscious, where it's not available for you to see or hear, but it is definitely playing at a more powerful frequency than the conscious mind. So it's all coming from the subconscious, and that's the place that needs cleaned. And so in the technique is to whatever comes on the screen, first, the big step, the big step, take responsibility for all of it. Every bit of it. All of the world. The hunger of the world to the wars of the world. Every bit of it. Because you understand projection, screen, 360, point of view. It has to be you. And that the whole world, the reason it looks like it does, is that it projects out here and then we try to fix it out on the screen. But you can't change the movie on the screen by running up to, you're not sitting in the movie theater and you wish you could change the scene. You don't run up to the screen and start attending to it. Instead, you go back to the projection room. What goes on back there? You ever wonder, that you're in the movies and it comes out on the screen and you're looking at it. Something's going on back there. Somebody's back there. I wonder what they're doing during the movie. That'd be a good channel, wouldn't it? What I do during a movie, probably seen the same movie 1,000 times. For God's sakes, Titanic. Probably sitting up in the booth watching Titanic for the 4,000th time, feeling like getting the bullhorn and saying, "For God's sakes, people, the ship sinks." Leonardo DiCaprio gives his floaty up to a woman and sinks to the bottom and dies. Now, get on with your lives. What do they call that today in today's hipster terminology? Spoiler alert. Well, there you go. Here's a spoiler alert of all time. We're projectors. This erases it. Zero limits. See you on the next one.